Okay, get ready to do lesson 8.7 today of pre-algebra math. This is part 1. Part 2, part 3 is available here at this email here. Today we're going to do 8.7 function notation. We have 32 points here of classwork and then 9 points here of notebook taking students, so get ready to take notes. And teachers, here's today's bell work. We have a multiple choice up here. What is the equation of the line as parallel to y equals 5x plus 3 and passes through 0, -1? Students figure that one out up here. And then again, multiple choice, what is the equation of the line through the points 0, 8, to 0? Give your students 6 minutes for this one. Okay, welcome back for our solutions for today's bell work. For number 1, here is your line here, y equals 5x minus 1 is parallel to this line here. It has the same slope, so there you go. And then what is the equation of the line through these points here? You find slopes, -4, so -4x plus 8 is what you come up with here. We have a y-intercept here of 8, so there's our b right there. So you should be able to go right to that. Once you find your slope, you just plug it into y equals mx plus b. You know b and you know m, so there it is. Okay, into our lesson today, function notation. What's that? You wrote equations in function form. You'll use function notation so you can do some problems. So in 2001, scientific balloon like the one shown was launched near McMurdo Station in Antarctica. In example 4, you'll see how function notation can be used to describe the balloon's altitude as a function of time. This is in your part 2 of the lesson. When you use an equation to represent a function, it is often convenient to give the function a name such as f or g. For instance, the function y equals x plus 2 can be written in function notation as f of x equals x plus 2. The symbol f of x, which replaces y, is read f of x and represents the value of a function f at x. For example, f of 3 is the value of f when x equals 3. So when you plug in 3 here, you'll find f of 3 equals 3 plus 2. Okay, students, in your own words, define function notation in your notebook. This is page 3 of 8 points. Okay, into our first example here today, working with function notation. F of x equals -3x plus 8. Find f of x when x equals 5, and find x when f of x equals -22. So for a here, f of x equals -3x plus 8. Write the function, and then we plug in 5 here for x, and then for f of 5, we plug in 5, and what do we get? We get -7 here for when x equals 5. So when x equals 5, f of x equals -7. And then the b part of example 1, f of x equals -3x plus 8. So substitute -22 for f of x. So we just plug in -22 here for f of x equals -3x plus 8. So we have, we bring over our 8 over here. So we have -30 equals -3x. And then 10 would equal x for this. So when f of x equals -22, x would have to equal 10. So when f of x equals -22, x equals. So moving into our guided practice here for g of -10, since this is yours, let's find out what g of -10 would be. So we substitute to -10 for x, and we get -45. G of -10 equals 4 times -10 minus 5, and that's -5. So that would be that. Oh, wait, as soon as you get a freebie here. So when x equals 2, g of 2 equals 4 times 2 minus 5 equals 3. So when x equals 2, g of x equals 3. Okay, in notebook, page 7, students, for your notebook entry here, graphing functions. To graph a function written in function notation, you may find it helpful to first rewrite the function in x and y. So to do that, graphing a function here, graph function f of x when 3 equals 3/4 x plus 1. Rewrite the function as y equals 3/4 x plus 1. So we're going to graph this here. The y-intercept is 1, so when x equals 0, y equals 1, that'd be right here, will be your y-intercept. We know that point. We need one other point. The slope is 3/4, so we can do it this way. Starting at 0, 1, 0, 1 is right here. So rise over run, so you go 3 up this way, and then 4 over that way. Well, let's see how we do it here. Plot another point by moving right 4 units. So let's see, we go right 4 units, be over here, then up 3. So it would be up over here somewhere. This is what your graph will look like. Here's 0, 1. So here's your rise, here's your run. Your run's 4, so you move right 4, then up 3, and then you plot that point. Then draw a line through it. There it is. So draw a line through the 2 points. There it is. Okay, graph this function here. H of x equals -1. Students, this is yours down here. Let's do our guided practice first. So what does the graph look like for h of x equals -1? What would that be? It would be right here. So when h of x equals -1, meaning in other words, y equals -1, this is y equals -1. It would be a horizontal line. The y-intercept is -1. And then the slope here is 0. We have a flat line, so the slope is 0. So when x equals 0, y equals -1. And that will be the line. And that is 8.7 part 1. Part 2, I think there's only part 2. And for the homework and quizzes and everything else, email me here. Thank you very much.